Lucky Boys Podcast.
I think one of the primary causes of breakups are infidelity. It's not because, oh, this person, you can't stand the way this person walks and talks. I don't think that's a primary thing. I think the primary case for heartache or breakups or divorce usually is because of infidelity. That's what I think. Either that or they want to break up with someone only because they don't want to break their heart. They want to see other people. Right? They still like this person a lot. They still love this person, but there's like an inner calling for them to be with someone else.
Well, variety is the spice of life. You know,
exactly.
Having something
they want to explore, whether you're male or female, you want to explore other people. You want to get to know other people. It's fun. It's new. It's exciting. You're fulfilling your fantasies, or maybe sexually or mentally. You know, it's not a one size fits all. I think it's extremely rare that one person checks all these boxes. Right? Maybe it's a few things. Right. And then you'll have to settle somewhere. So I think that's the number one cause, in my opinion. I think that if they did an actual case study on it, I think that may be the number one cause of breakups. So that being said, I wonder if there'll be an accelerant to the culture of dating in the future, because it already has shifted dramatically since I was coming up. You know, just think about back in the day where there's arranged marriages.
The marriages lasted longer.
Right
Back in the day.
And there was like really no such thing as divorce. Right. And it was very rare.
Yeah.
And now it's more normal, and it's weird to have an arranged marriage. Right. So if we just fast forward a few decades or maybe even 100 years, right? Would relationships change where it's completely normal for a couple to date other people? Kind of like an open relationship, but together.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there will be no such thing as cheating anymore in that context, because culturally it's acceptable. It's acceptable, and it's actually normal. Right? There's no such thing as that anymore. Like before, it was like you couldn't even think like, oh, you met someone and you love them and you refuse to go with the hookup that your parents want you to. You know, you were promised to this person.
Yeah.
I know some cultures still do that. I actually have a couple of friends, that have arranged marriages, and I get that. But in the future, what if that cultural shifts? Where, like, for example, you and your girlfriend have a Tinder-like profile together, or you and your wife, or I mean, if you get married, right? And you guys, and someone can swipe right on you. I don't know if that's the right context, but swipe right means you like someone, right?
I think so.
Okay. Come on.
I don't know anything about. I don't know anything about online dating apps.
But
currently,
I've been out the game for years, so all right. So swipe right. So they could swipe right on a couple. So what if it's perfectly normal to, for example, you're coming home from work or whatever, and then you see your wife kissing on somebody else, and it's socially acceptable. It's like you coming home watching your wife cook or watch TV. You come home, you see her and the other person she's in a relationship with, whether it's a girl or guy, doing stuff around the house, and you're like, hey, what's up?
I think it's going to be
as long as you're the primary boo. There's like a primary boo.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, there's
a primary bae, and before anyone else. But but there's also other people that come after the fact. Do you think we'll ever get there?
We've seen that in society now. It's taboo to us, people outside, people looking in, but people who believe in polygamy, people who are swingers, it's normal to them. They call it the lifestyle. It's normal. And I think if we were to look at it from a standpoint like, oh, how do we maintain these relationships that we have with people that we truly love, but we do want to explore, I think that's a conversation that needs to be done with your partner. And I think it will evolve into something like that, because, I've thought about like, oh, swinging is like a pretty interesting thing. Like, but I don't think I have the mental kind of.
You don't have the programming.
I don't have the programming. I think a lot of feelings and emotions are involved in that. You have to be mature and say like, this is where we're at. And
that's striking to me, where you just said we may evolve into that. So it's like you're almost saying it without saying it. Like the way like it's primitive the way we are right now. Being exclusive to one person is a primitive thing. It's a primitive lifestyle. It's a primitive form of dating.
Well, I don't even want to say it's like primitive.
Well, you say evolve, right?
Yeah, yes, evolution.
We're in a older stage or mentality of being.
Yes, the mentality I think is primitive. But if you're talking about like animal instincts, the primitive way of instinctually thinking about relationships is, propagating with as many
Spreading your seed.
Yeah, spreading your seed as much as possible. That's the primitive thought process of mammals.
Sure.
So yeah, that's why I wanted to explain like the primitive part is we're in an old way of thinking.